out of the box or out of the wall, whatever you want to call it, that went the complete wrong direction. Anyway, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Jesus. Anyway, this is before the 1968 Charles Heston Planet of the Apes. This one's James Franco now, but we are figuring out where Caesar came from and what are his motivations. Slytherin. Let's find out. Chase Lee Hockey here with the Blue Futon, reviewing Rise of the Planet of the Apes. And why am I saying Slytherin? Because Tom Felton's in this movie. Anyway, what's it about? I kind of said in the intro, pretty simple premise. James Franco is trying to solve Alzheimer's. His dad has it, John Lithgow. And you know what? Caesar is, pretty smart. So let's put it in the father, and it works. However, years go by, Alzheimer's comes back, and Caesar gets way, way smarter. So, like this film, I remember this coming out in 2011, and you could tell a lot of people were not interested in this movie. They're like, why are they doing Planet of the Apes? James Franco's in it. This makes no sense. A prequel to the original 1968 movies. What are they thinking? And then when it came out, people were like, oh, they actually made a good movie, and it really holds up 13 years later when Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes comes out this weekend. So, we talk about the positives, the animation. Andy Serkis playing, Caesar does a fantastic job, as well as the animation, because, he has been in the motion capture role forever, playing Gollum, so many other movies I can't even think of at the top of my head because it's that predominant. Then the actors, everyone else, like I said, Tom Felton does a good job, Brian Cox does a good job, James Franco, Freida Pinto does a good job. So, I can't really blame the acting, the directing, solid writing. It is only an hour and 44 minutes. And I remember going into it, just watched it now, going, an hour and 44 minutes, that seems kind of short for like a intro into this movie. Because I'm pretty sure Dawn and War are a lot longer. And when talking about those two, let's talk about it a little bit later. But the hour and 44 minutes goes by quick. There is no pacing issues. There's no boredom in this movie. You're going back to back to back. And some people might be like, oh, some characters don't get enough screen time as the others. Sure, I could see that, especially with one of the scientists that worked with James Franco. You could say with David Oyelowo, if I'm saying his name wrong, I know I am. He's like the CEO of the pharmaceutical company. He doesn't get a lot of screen time. Like I said, the guy that played Dave in Tucker versus Evil, he doesn't get a lot of screen time, and some of the apes as well. Because for a fact, when watching now Dawn and War of the Planet of the Apes, that one of the main apes, Cody, if I'm not mistaken, is the predominant villain going to go throughout. But here, you are getting little snippets here and there, and you do wonder if making it longer could have gotten a little bit more screen time to some of these smaller characters. And also, I just realized in this movie too, this place is San Francisco, right? Well, I kind of know that, right? But now I just realized San Francisco cops are just worthless, okay? You got to think of believability about that, because the whole reason for the end of this movie is, the apes are wanting to go to the Redwood Forest, because that's kind of quote-unquote home. I feel like overall, though, they wouldn't make it. Unless, like I said, I don't know San Francisco's firepower. I don't know what their police are capable of, because it is San Francisco. So maybe the apes would be like, this is my town, bitch. And the San Franciscoans are like, you win. Because I know if they planted the apes in Florida, in Texas, and Kentucky, they'd be like, nah, fam. There would be more friendly relationships, because, apparently the What am I talking about? Look, I'm being stupid right now. Overall, Rise of the Planet of the Apes is a solid entry in this new trilogy. Even though I can't say trilogy now, it's a qualogy, because Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is coming out. So like I said, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, pretty solid. And what I remember going into Dawn and War, I thought Rise of the Planet of the Apes is the better of the three. Is my opinion going to change in the next 72 hours? We are going to find out. But right now, Rise of the Planet of the Apes is number one of one. Good acting, good storytelling, good editing, overall solid just entry into the franchise. And like I said, if you give one little negative to me, some characters don't get enough screen time or enough explanation as they should. So Rise of the Planet of the Apes will receive a 4 out of 5 with Futon, which equals that 80%. So see the critics and user scores gave this one. Critics, you have a 82% with 273 of them. Audience score is 77 with over 250,000. Critic consensus. Led by Rupert Wyatt's stylish direction, some impressive special effects, and a memorizing performance of Andy Serkis, Rise of the Planet of the Apes breathes unlike new life into a long-running franchise. Also, I can say one of the negatives is some of the special effects. Some of them are like fantastic, but some of them do like go a little bit oof territory. But this is a 13-year-old movie. 82, 77, 80. Chase got here with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. One more thing is Bluetontopia. You Blue Futon today. Watch a great day. I can watch State tomorrow. We can find a month or a year from every single freaking one of you. Let's go Dawn, and War, and Kingdom.